Scientists just taught AI to play God. And by play God, I mean literally create brand new life forms from scratch. We're talking about an AI that can write DNA code like it's a grocery list, except instead of milk, eggs, bread, it's gene A, protein B, kill all the bacteria. Meet Evo 1 and Evo 2. These aren't the latest Tesla models, they're genome language models that make ChatGPT look like a pocket calculator. While ChatGPT can write a mediocre poem about your cat, these things can literally design living organisms that have never existed in the 3.8 billion years since life first appeared on Earth. Think of it this way. If DNA is the IKEA instruction manual for building life, then these AI models just became the world's most overqualified furniture assemblers. Except instead of a wonky bookshelf, they're creating actual living viruses that work better than anything nature ever came up with. Now, before you start digging your fallout shelter, let me explain what actually happened. Researchers at Stanford and the Arc Institute fed these AI models the genetic blueprints of over 2 million viruses. 2 million! That's like giving a chef every recipe ever created and asking them to invent a completely new cuisine. Except this cuisine can hunt down and eliminate specific bacteria. Their target? E. coli. You know, that microbe that occasionally turns a summer barbecue into a biological hazard. The AI was basically told, design me a virus that can hunt down E. coli like a microscopic Terminator. And here's where it gets absolutely bonkers. The AI didn't just copy and paste existing viruses. It went full creative mode. It invented completely new genetic sequences, DNA codes that had never before existed in the entire history of evolution. Evolution has been beta testing life for billions of years, keeping what works, discarding what doesn't, and AI just showed up like, hold my beer, and created something evolution never even thought of. The scientists then synthesized 302 of the most promising AI designs, bringing these digital creations to life in their lab. It's like 3D printing, but instead of another useless phone case, you're printing living organisms. The results? 16 of these AI-created viruses were alive and functional, and some are straight-up overachievers. One virus, officially named Evo 569, completely dominated natural viruses in a head-to-head competition by up to 65 times. That's like bringing a Formula One car to a bicycle race. This AI-designed virus made millions of years of natural selection look like amateur hour. But it gets even crazier. They tested these AI viruses against antibiotic-resistant bacteria, those superbugs that laugh in the face of our best medicines. The AI viruses succeeded where natural ones failed. They overcame resistance that had stumped evolution for eons. It's like evolution spent millions of years trying to solve a Rubik's Cube, and AI just walked up and peeled off the stickers. Now, I know what you're thinking. Great, so AI can create superviruses. What could possibly go wrong? Well, let me ease your fears. These aren't the destroy all humans kind of viruses. They're called bacteriophages, viruses that specifically hunt bacteria, not us. Think of them as microscopic bounty hunters with a very specific target list. Human cells aren't even on their radar. But the implications are staggering. One AI virus, Evo 52843, drove bacterial populations to their knees faster and more efficiently than the natural version it was based on. Nature spent billions of years perfecting a recipe, and AI just waltzed in and added a secret ingredient that made it exponentially better. We have officially entered an era where we don't have to wait for nature to solve our problems. We can direct AI to design the solution. This could mean the end of antibiotic resistance, a revolution in medicine. But it also means we've handed the keys to life's operating system over to an intelligence we're still trying to understand. The question is no longer, can we rewrite the code of life, but who gets to decide what gets written next? We've officially entered an era where AI doesn't just predict biology anymore, it creates it. We're not just reading the book of life, we're writing entirely new chapters. Researchers recently tasked an AI with designing bacteriophages. That's a fancy word for viruses that only hunt and kill bacteria. Then they took these AI designs, synthesized them into reality, and set them loose. What happened next is changing everything. They used something called cryo-electron microscopy, basically taking ultra-high-resolution photos of these tiny creations and made a staggering discovery. One of the AI-designed viruses was using a completely different protein structure than anything ever seen in nature. Think about that. It's like finding out someone built a car that runs on hopes and dreams instead of gasoline, and it somehow works better. But the most impressive part, you know how bacteria are the ultimate survivors? Cockroaches have nothing on them. They evolve resistance to everything we throw at them. So when the test bacteria inevitably developed resistance to a natural virus, the researchers unleashed a cocktail of the AI-designed viruses. The natural virus alone, it was a complete failure.
Like bringing a knife to a gunfight. But the AI virus cocktail, it adapted and completely overcame the bacterial resistance in just a few generations. It was like having a Swiss Army knife that spontaneously grows new tools just as you need them. This is monumental in the fight against antibiotic-resistant infections. We have been losing the arms race against superbugs for decades. Now, AI has just shown up with a whole new arsenal. Instead of spending billions of dollars and decades developing one new antibiotic, we might soon be able to design custom viruses that hunt specific bacteria on demand. It's like having a personalized hitman for every bacterial infection. You've got a nasty case of MRSA? Let me just whip up a virus that specifically targets that. Give me a few hours. Now, before you start picturing a sci-fi apocalypse, the researchers were incredibly careful. They worked only with non-pathogenic bacteria and followed strict biosafety protocols. These aren't mad scientists cackling in a basement. They're responsible scientists cackling in a properly ventilated, safety-compliant laboratory. The AI models themselves were trained specifically on bacteriophage. They deliberately excluded any virus that affects humans from the training data. So the AI literally does not know how to create viruses that could harm us.
It's like teaching someone to cook, but only ever showing them vegetarian recipes. So what does this really mean for our future? Imagine having a bacterial infection, and instead of taking broad-spectrum antibiotics that nuke your entire system like a biological carpet bomb, you get a precision-guided virus that only takes out the bad guys. It's the difference between using a sledgehammer and a scalpel. Less collateral damage, more effective results. Researchers are already planning to design larger, more complex viruses, and eventually other biological systems. We could be looking at a future with custom organisms for specific tasks, bacteria that eat plastic pollution, viruses that deliver gene therapy, microbes that produce medicines on site. Of course, with great power comes great responsibility, and the ability to design living organisms from code is about as great as power gets. The scientific community is being very thoughtful about the ethics here, which is good, because the last thing anyone wants is the biological equivalent of a computer virus. But for now, this is an incredible breakthrough. AI has successfully designed complete, functional genomes that work better than millions of years of evolution. It feels like nature has been playing chess, and AI just invented three-dimensional chess and won in 4 moves. So the next time someone tells you AI is just good for writing emails and generating weird art, remind them that it can now literally create life. And unlike most AI-generated content, these viruses actually work, and they might just save us from one of the biggest health crises of our time. The future is weird, folks, but at least it's weird in a potentially life-saving way. Now, if you'll excuse me, I need to go thank my immune system for keeping me alive in this brave new world of designer viruses.